Well, I just saw Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, and I gotta tell you, this movie is a lot of fun. Hi, this is AWO. There we'll bring you a movie review based on Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, starring Tom Hardy as Venom, Woody Harrelson as Carnage, Cletus Cassidy, Michelle Williams as Anne, Naomi Harris as Francis, or better known as Sheik, the Sheik, the Shriek or Sheik, whatever. And yeah, my microphone just fell. You're gonna see that. And so yeah, welcome to review. Non spoiler review. That'll be later. But yeah, so Venom 2. Now, if you're going to this movie expecting a well-paced story, it's an hour and a half. I thought the story was okay for an hour and a half. It wasn't. It's not the kind of story that makes you think, like some of the other comic book movies. It's more like a typical Marvel kind of story. Unlike the DC, where DC movies tend to make you think, where there's more stuff to think about. This movie doesn't have that. It's more like there's not a lot of action in this movie. I'll say that there's not a lot of action in this movie, especially at the beginning. At the beginning, in the beginning and in the middle, there's really not a lot of action. There's not a lot of fight scenes, I would say. But once we get to a certain point in the movie, it really starts to pick up. Yeah, it's an hour and a half. It has to pick up. It's not a 2-hour movie like most comic book movies. But let's get to what I think. CGI looked great. Venom looked great. Carnage, what you saw in the trailers, yep, even better on the big screen. Woody Harrelson played Cletus. I thought the way he played Cletus was spot on. Sadistic, not caring, serial killer like. Carnage is and Cletus, whatever, is the Joker to Venom, Eddie Brock's as Batman. We know that. Naomi Harris played the Shriek. I'm not gonna tell you what the movie is about, but she plays a very good role in what she is about, and how the story also kind of revolves around her a bit. You gotta go this. I'll say this about Carnage. It's not about we perceive Carnage as a Carnage type of character, like just there to cause chaos and carnage, like kind of like the Joker is, right? Like the Joker is from Dark Knight, and other iterations of the Joker. But they actually gave more depth to Carnage in this movie. Like he has another motive, despite causing carnage. Yes, he does that, but there's another motive. There's another reasoning why there's a relationship with Eddie Brock and another character. It's more than just him causing chaos. Look, there's some things. Look, it's a fast-paced movie. There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of good jokes in there. As I said, Woody Harrelson nailed the role of Cletus Cassidy. Tom Hardy is great as Eddie Brock. And I'll say those two are the standouts. I say Cletus was most of the standout there. Woody Harrelson. Like I said, don't expect like the storyline is easy to follow. It's not a hard story to follow. It's simple. So if you're not a comic book fan and you watch like the DC movies or some of the Marvel movies, and I know a lot of general audiences watches those movies, and some, like for example, the Infinity Saga does take some aspects from the comics, but not everything. This movie does take some aspects from the comics, but you really don't need to like understand most the relationship. You really don't need to go back to the comics all that much for this movie, because the story is simple. It's very simple. You go get it's and yes, the story was not pushed out for like for a 2-hour film. It was an hour and a half, as I said so many times. It's just a simple story. CGI, the action scenes, the ending was great. Ending analysis, yeah. So there's a lot of slow build, slow. I know an hour and a half. I'm saying slow build, but there is really a lot of slow build in this movie. To about at the end of the middle, and in the beginning of around the third act. So at the end of the second act and in the third act, that's when it really started to take place. I would say around maybe the 40-minute mark is when it starts to 45-minute mark is when it starts to have more the slow build. That's when it turns into more of a fast paced build because it was a slow build. But yeah, no, I think Shang-Chi is the best comic book movie this year. But this is right up here with one of the best comic book movies. I kind of liked all the comic book movies that came out. But before I end this, like, share, subscribe. I'll say this: when you see the movie, do not leave. Stay for the credits because you're gonna be mouth dropping during that mid-credit scene. Because this mid-credit scene that I'm gonna hype you up about made my mouth drop, even though I was wearing a mask. But if the mask is see-through and you can see my mouth was dropping, I'm like almost like, oh my god. And yeah, this mid-credit scene, it's groundbreaking. It's groundbreaking. I'm not gonna spoil it. Go see the movie, okay? So here, like, share, subscribe. If you've seen it, did you like it? If you haven't seen it, does this review make you want to see it or not? Like, share, subscribe down below. And before I let you guys go,
Too sweet! Sweet! Too sweet! Too sweet!
and with that, the AW is out. Aaron Water is out. See ya.